Hello, my name is Teresa Mills, and I'm the Chief Executive Officer for Peace at Home Family Shelter. Welcome to this year's Courage Awards. This last year has changed our community in so many ways, from how we work, go to school, socialize, and even grocery shop. But for victims of domestic violence, this year has been especially hard. The pandemic has further isolated so many victims from support systems. Economic limitations keep many survivors in dangerous relationships, and the pandemic has only magnified that with mounting job losses, food insecurity, and fear. Current estimates indicate that domestic violence might increase as much as 40% as a result of the pandemic. Unfortunately, just as victims need services the most, many domestic violence programs across the country have either reduced their capacity or temporarily closed their doors. But not Peace at Home. Thanks to you and your ongoing support, all of our services have remained continuous, even during a pandemic. Victims of domestic violence have still received emergency safe shelter. Families have gotten the financial assistance to safely find housing in our community. Orders of protection have still happened over Zoom, and our attorneys are back in the courtroom. We even added a telehealth option for our counseling program. Our operations might look a little different, but one thing has remained. Peace at Home is here and will continue to be here to support survivors and their children. Your support means so much to us. Now more than ever, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here, for investing on our mission, and helping to bring peace into the homes of so many. Thank you to our sponsors who've made this event even virtually possible. We appreciate you so much. And now, please join me in learning a little more about Peace at Home and its programs.
Hi, my name is Madison Glover, and I am a residential advocate here at the Peace at Home Family Shelter. Emergency shelter is one of the services that we provide here at Peace at Home, and it provides a safe space, bed, clothing, and advocate for people and families who are fleeing their abuser. So just in this past year, we've had around 300 individuals come and stay with us, and that safety aspect is so important because whenever they are leaving their abuser, it is the most dangerous time for them. And so it's crucial for them to be able to have a safe space to come and talk with their advocate and safety plan and learn about what they've been through. The impact of emergency shelter that I have seen has been so huge. I've seen people and individuals try and leave their abuser for 10 to 15 years who are actually able to do so with our help. And we appreciate your support of Peace at Home, and it's because of your support that we're able to provide all these services to victims.
My name is Caitlin Admire. I lead the legal department at Peace at Home. I'm also one of 2 staff attorneys here. Our legal department is made up of 4 people, and we primarily assist victims who are leaving domestic violence situations in family law and order protection cases. That covers anything from divorce, paternity, child support, custody, property division. We also do a limited number of immigration and housing related cases. In 2019, we served 392 families. Our numbers are a little skewed this year as we all adjust to the new normal, but since January 1st of 2020, we have served 280 families. These services are important to survivors of domestic violence because this is often the last step in them leaving the abusive relationship. They're often tied to their abuser through children or property, and the court systems are very expensive. It's often cost prohibitive to leave the relationship. And we have a number of clients who say that they've stayed for years because they couldn't afford an attorney, they couldn't afford to file for divorce, they knew that their abuser would be able to hire an attorney and they were worried about losing custody. So having an attorney and a team of advocates behind them to support them through the court system is so important. When you support Peace at Home, you make this kind of work possible, so thank you for your support.
My name is Maria Torres. I am the licensed master social worker and bilingual therapist here at Peace at Home. So counseling services at Peace at Home are fairly new. We started providing individual counseling services to clients as of December of last year. Currently, we're only providing individual adult counseling services, but we are working on developing additional services to our program, which are going to include therapeutic services for children and teens in the future, as well as group therapy. All of our services are completely free of charge. We start with an assessment with the client, and then from there we kind of talk through what their needs might be. And if there is a need for us to refer the client for further services with community partners, we do that. The fact that we give them a space to communicate those needs, they start building that self-confidence to then be able to talk to their children, talk to their family members, talk to their support system about what they've been through, right? Without feeling that guilt and shame that comes with being a victim. And so that allows them then to be able to express better and start that communication process. When you support Peace at Home, you make this work happen. So thank you.
My name is Elaine Jackson, and I am a housing advocate here at Peace at Home. Through our Home Restored program, we're able to help with deposits, first month's rent, getting utilities turned on in the survivor's name. And a lot of these things are really big barriers for someone who is living an abusive situation. So it is much needed support in that realm. We also have the SHE program, which helps with transitional support with rent and housing costs for over 2 years. Last year, we helped 100 new families move into safe housing around the community. Survivors leaving, on top of dealing with the effects of the abuse that they've experienced, they're also often met with a lot of financial barriers. So financial abuse they might have experienced, but also just the financial barrier of getting into new housing. It's very expensive. Housing costs are rising in the area. And so somebody looking to start over and live a peaceful life is looking into getting safe housing and is met with so many roadblocks. So our Home Restored program is extremely helpful for survivors in that situation. I think it's easy to look at what we do as purely financial assistance and giving money where it's needed, but personally, I look at the Home Restored program as so much more than that. Watching survivors go from struggling to make decisions on how to get out of an abusive situation, and then fast forward a few weeks, a few months, and to see them living in a home that they can proudly say is theirs and is safe, is peaceful, is truly inspiring. I've watched people really restart their lives and become happier, healthier, more confident people. And I think every day that is one of the most rewarding things I could think of to do. When you support Peace at Home, it's not just financial support, it's helping survivors start new lives.
In September, the beginning of October of 2017, I relocated as I was going through a divorce from Colorado to my hometown of Northwest Arkansas. And I was pregnant and had 2 older children and had no place to go. And so I knew that I needed a safe place for me and my children. So I came in and she was due 5 weeks after I got here, so I was 8 months pregnant. And it was scary. I went into the hospital, I was a Jane Doe. She was a Jane Doe. And I was never alone. The shelter came and visited me at the hospital. They had a baby shower for me. They provided the needs that I would need, or any mother or parent would need to take care of their child. Once a week, I met with a therapist and we talked about my triggers. We talked about healing. We talked about what caused my triggers, how to prevent them. And there was also physical, like a lady would come in on the weekends and we would do physical therapy. And then we would do art therapy. And then my kids were too old, but there was a lady that would come in and do child that would work with the children in groups. And a lot of the staff would come in the afternoons and cook with us. And we could order certain foods for the grocery list once a week. And whatever we wanted to make, the sweet little lady would go down and have it picked up for us. So since I've left Peace at Home, I have gotten my own home. I now have a house for me and my 3 kids. I bought my first car. I have completed a certificate at Purdue Global for Human Services. I am now moving on to my bachelor's, and my degree is at Family and Human Services, Business Administration, with side studies in criminal justice. So my goal is to be an advocate for victims of domestic violence and human trafficking. As someone who has experienced domestic violence just isn't physical. Domestic violence is verbal, it is mental, it is sexual, and there are people out there that care. I was manipulated mentally to think that nobody cared for me, that nobody would understand me, and that everything was my fault, that I was to blame for the situations that I was going through. And that is not true. I was lucky enough to find a program in Northwest Arkansas that was able to help me go through those emotions. Peace at Home, from the day I walked into the door and I met the advocate to the day I left, they never lost hope in me. I would say that it is okay to be not okay, and Northwest Arkansas cares. The donors care, and I can say that because I am a survivor and they have helped me.
Stories like the one you heard illustrate the importance and mission of the work of Peace at Home. Each year we recognize individuals that help us achieve our mission. It is my great pleasure and honor to introduce Casey Tucker as one of the recipients of this year's Courage Award.
I was lucky enough to meet Casey when her oldest son and my youngest son started kindergarten together. As I began learning more about Casey, she talked passionately about Peace at Home, their work, their programs, and their mission. Casey grew up in Northwest Arkansas, went to undergrad in Colorado, and several steps later returned to Arkansas to attend law school at the University of Arkansas, and eventually she started a law practice, the Law Group of Northwest Arkansas here in the area. Casey has an unwavering passion for the community. For example, Casey assisted with the Capital campaign to expand the emergency shelter and helped to launch Bar and Grill, a fundraising event for Peace at Home. When Casey cares about something, it's a genuine, deep engagement, and seemingly nothing will get in her way. If you know Casey, you know she has a competitive side, which makes us all want to be better. As a board, as an organization, as a person, as a friend. She has tirelessly, courageously supported Peace at Home, both personally and through her law firm. In practice, courage and Casey go hand in hand. Finally, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention her biggest supporters and fans, her husband Joe and her 2 sons, Jimmy and Lou. In many ways, this award is partially theirs too, although knowing how competitive she is, there's no guarantee she'll be willing to share it. Congratulations, Casey Tucker. Not only do you exude courage, you promote it in others. Thank you, Casey, on behalf of all those you've impacted.
Thank you very much. I'm really honored and humbled that Peace at Home would offer an award to me. I have been involved with Peace at Home, since I was in law school, so over a decade. I started volunteering with the Women's Law Student Association when I was in law school, and quickly learned what an amazing organization that it is and how mission-centered and focused and driven that the organization is. From everyone that volunteers and works there has the goal of empowering survivors of domestic violence, from the people who answer the crisis line to the advocates to people who volunteer to help clean up the supply room. It's one of the most passionate and amazing groups of people that I've ever had the opportunity to be involved with, and I'm so grateful. I'm also really grateful to Peace at Home because Peace at Home makes it so that our community is safer for everyone, not just for survivors of violence, but for our schools and our neighborhoods and our communities. We all benefit when folks are safe in their own home. And so I'm grateful to Peace at Home for everything that they do for me and for my family, and very grateful to Peace at Home for everything that they do for survivors. Another thing that's so great about Peace at Home is that I know that they are good stewards of my donation. I know that every time I give money to Peace at Home, that the folks that work up there are going to be thoughtful about the highest and best use of that money, whether it's program, direct support for survivors, making sure that the folks that work there are taken care of. I know that the money I give to the shelter is going to the right place, so it makes me feel really good about being involved. I'm honored and I'm so grateful that Peace at Home Family Shelter has let me spend so much time working with them and beside them, and really, really grateful for all that everyone does. Thank you so much, Peace at Home. Thank you for everything you do for survivors, for our community, and thank you for letting me be involved in the organization.
My name is Tina Bear, and it is my honor to tell you about my friend and fellow Peace at Home board member, Sandy Sprouse. Sandy has a giant heart for serving others and a passion for Peace at Home. Sandy and her family moved to Springdale when she was 8 years old, so Springdale is her hometown and she loves her community. She married her high school sweetheart, Doug Sprouse, 43 years ago, and they have 3 amazing children and 9 grandchildren. Doug and Sandy have always been very active in their church, First Baptist of Springdale, which is now Cross Church, and they've always been very active in their community. They started their business, Sprouse Upholstery, in 1983, but due to their love of community, they had a deep calling that Doug should run for mayor of Springdale. And in January of 2009, he started his first term. Sandy continued to run their business until she retired in 2018, but still stays very active in the community, including being the secretary for Springdale Kiwanis. She understood how important the work at Peace at Home is, and so she joined the board in 2011. And Sandy loves to share about Peace at Home. In fact, she shared about Peace at Home with me when she learned that my family had rescued my sister from an abusive husband. She invited me to one of the many events she has held in her home to share about opportunities to help and serve at the shelter. And because of her, I became a Peace at Home board member, which I will be forever grateful. Sandy has always been very proactive in bringing in colleagues and friends and telling them about opportunities, but she's always leading with her contributions of time and with money. She's assisted in the shelter expansion program so that Peace at Home can offer more services to more families. And she has strengthened the relationship between the Springdale community and the shelter, and also helped us connect with more supporters in the Springdale area. She's a dedicated supporter of domestic violence victims and their children, and she has inspired so many to join the work, including me. Sandy, we want you to know the board will miss you so very much. We are so very grateful for all the work you've done in the years you have been on the board, but we know that you will continue blessing others in our community. So God bless you, and we love you.
I want to thank Peace at Home Family Shelter for this honor. I've served on the board for, 9 years now, and it's just an honor. I don't think of myself as courageous. I see other people as courageous, and so for me, it's really been a humbling thing to accept this award. I do want to thank the board. I want to thank Teresa Mills. I want to thank the staff of Peace at Home for all the work they do. They're really the courageous ones. Every day working with those that just have been living nightmares, and the courage that it takes to leave that situation and to come to the shelter. So thank you. I am so honored and really appreciate it. Okay, I think it was in 2008 that I was first introduced to Peace at Home. The shelter had just been, the new shelter then at that time, had just been completed. And my husband and I were invited to come and tour, like an open house. And I didn't even know this was here. I didn't know the need was there. I had no idea. I toured the shelter with Teresa, had a meeting with her, and it just really opened my eyes and opened my heart, because I was raised in a very safe environment. My parents were very protective. I always felt protected, always felt loved, always felt secure, and never had to worry, about violence, being harmed. Then I got married when I was 20 years old, and my husband, Doug, he was the same type of person. I've never felt endangered. I've never felt unsafe. We had our children, grew up, raised them pretty much in the same environment, and to see that there are those folks out there, it just broke my heart. It just really spoke to me that even though, I don't have a lot of financial resources to just give a lot of money, but I just thought, people need to know. And if I can just tell people I know about the work of the shelter, you don't know when it might reach those that are needing it. And I just thought, we just got to get the word out and share. And I try to do that whenever I can, because I just know how important it is that if people need help, they're desperate, they need help, and we got to help them.
I'm Jane Hunt, a supporter of Peace at Home, and I want to congratulate Casey and Sandy, who I know have worked very hard on the board at Peace at Home. They've given a lot of their time and knowledge, certainly deserve this award. Why do I support Peace at Home? And I've been asked it's certainly helping people, and that is my mission, to help people in need. And you can go there, and it is run so well. Their staff is wonderful. Their director is wonderful. They have financial stability, which is wonderful for a place to be. I can't say enough about their staff and their director. They're more to me than that. They're my friends, they're my community, and they've given me a purpose in life. And I hope everyone will experience that feeling. To honor Casey and Sandy, I'm giving a challenge grant that I hope will be taken up by other people to support Peace at Home.
Hello, at Our Best Bank, we are people helping people. Congratulations to Casey Tucker and Sandy Sprouse, and thank you for supporting Peace at Home Family Shelter.
From all of us here at the Law Group of Northwest Arkansas, congratulations Casey and Sandy, and thank you for supporting Peace at Home Family Shelter.